They say you can tell everything about a place by how it feeds its people. In the world beyond the prison walls, food represents comfort, culture, and care. But behind bars, it becomes something entirely different. A mirror reflecting power, control, and survival. Inside these cold, echoing corridors, every meal tells a story, and not all of them are easy to swallow. The prison kitchen is a world of its own, hidden, humid, and heavily guarded. It's where steam rises before dawn, and tired men in faded uniforms chop, stir, and sweat over industrial pots. These men are not chefs. They are inmates, some chosen for good behavior, others assigned out of necessity. Yet in this strange, metallic environment, they wield a quiet kind of power. They have access to things most prisoners can only dream of: extra bread, a spoonful of sugar, a sliver of real butter. In a place where scarcity rules, even crumbs become currency. The smell of the kitchen hangs thick in the air, a mix of boiling starch, rusted pans, and something that might have once been meat. Food budgets are stretched so thin that what's served often barely qualifies as edible. Soups are watered down to near transparency, casseroles are built from leftovers, and the protein, if you can call it that, arrives as a grey, unidentifiable lump. One former inmate described it simply: you don't eat prison food, you survive it. Yet for many, survival means adaptation. Prisoners have developed their own underground form of cooking, an art known as prison cuisine. In the dim corners of their cells, they crush instant noodles, stir in canned tuna, or mix peanut butter with chips to make a makeshift spread. To the outside world, it may look unappetizing, but to them, it's freedom, the rare moment when they can create something of their own. Food becomes a small rebellion, a way to reclaim control in a world that's stripped them of it. Each bowl of these improvised meals carries something deeper than taste. It carries the memory of freedom, the longing for choice, and the desperate attempt to stay human. Some inmates share their creations, others guard them like treasure. A single pack of noodles can buy loyalty or spark a fight. In here, food isn't just nourishment, it's negotiation. But not everything that happens in the kitchen is about creativity or comfort. Beneath the clatter of trays and hum of freezers lies something darker. Rumors circulate in whispers, ingredients replaced, portions altered, trades made between guards and inmates. It's said that what goes into the pot doesn't always match what comes out. The kitchen, like every corner of the prison, is a place of hierarchy and hidden deals. Behind closed storeroom doors, boxes arrive with labels faded and dates long expired. Supplies meant for hundreds are stretched to feed thousands. And yet somehow, meals are still served, though no one dares to ask how. Those who work in the kitchen see everything but speak little. The wrong question can cost you your position, or worse. There are days when the food carries a smell so foul that even hunger hesitates. On those days, the inmates know. Something is off. The food reflects the mood of the prison itself. The more chaotic the atmosphere, the worse the meal. When the smell hits before dawn, everyone braces for a hard day ahead. Still, they eat. They always eat. Because hunger in prison doesn't wait for comfort, it demands obedience. And every bite, no matter how tasteless or strange, reminds them of where they are and who holds the power. As the day ends, trays clatter back into bins, leftovers congeal in the corners, and the kitchen sinks back into silence. Steam fades, but the stories linger. Behind those walls, food isn't just a daily ritual. It's a silent language of survival. Would you eat this? Because for thousands locked behind bars, there is no question to ask, no choice to make. They eat what's given, or they go hungry. In the next chapter, we'll uncover the deeper truth of this system, how food itself becomes a weapon of control, how hunger shapes obedience, and how some prisoners find dangerous ways to fight back. Before we continue, remember, every story like this exposes a reality few are willing to see. If you want to keep uncovering these hidden worlds, make sure to stay with us, because what comes next will change the way you think about prison food forever. Inside prison walls, food is more than survival. It's power. The kitchen might seem like a place of service, but in reality, it's the hidden throne room of control. Every scoop of rice, every portion of beans, every bite swallowed in silence tells a story about who holds authority and who doesn't. The prison system understands this power very well. Hunger bends people. It humbles even the strongest. When everything else is stripped away, freedom, privacy, dignity, food becomes the last chain that keeps order. And for those who run the system, it's a chain they know how to pull. Inmates quickly learn that meals are not guaranteed by justice, but by compliance. Those who obey eat first. Those who cause trouble often eat last, or eat less. It's not written in any rule book, but it's felt in every cafeteria line. The portion size on your tray can reveal your reputation. A scoop too small might mean someone up the chain is sending a message. Even among inmates, food becomes the center of the social hierarchy. The ones who control the kitchen, known as kitchen men, wield silent influence. They can slip you an extra piece of bread or serve you the coldest scoop from the pot. In a world built on scarcity, such gestures can build loyalty or breed resentment. Sometimes, a simple extra slice of meat is enough to win protection. Other times, it sparks a rivalry that ends in violence. And yet, even in this darkness, a strange system of economy thrives. Inside those grey walls, food becomes currency. Ramen noodles are traded like gold. Instant coffee becomes a bargaining chip. Peanut butter, sugar, or even a single fruit can buy favors, secrets, or safety. The guards see it all. Some ignore it, some exploit it. In certain prisons, rumors whisper of officers who trade special food privileges for cooperation or information. A sandwich can become a bribe. A warm meal, sir, and silence an uprising before it begins. Hunger, it turns out, is the most effective warden. There are days when the food becomes a weapon of punishment. After a riot, the kitchen shuts down. Meals are reduced to plain bread or a tasteless nutrient loaf, packed with everything the body needs but nothing the soul wants. It's food designed to break the spirit, edible enough to keep you alive, dull enough to remind you of your place. Prisoners call it the loaf of silence. And yet, within the cells, resistance brews quietly. Inmates learn to fight back not with fists, but with creativity. They hoard bits of seasoning, smuggle sugar packets, and cook secret meals with improvised stoves made from metal cans. It's dangerous, but it's freedom, even if it lasts only for a few bites. Some prisons have witnessed what insiders call food strikes. Groups of inmates refusing to eat, demanding dignity instead of crumbs. It's a desperate move, and it doesn't always end well. But it reveals something powerful. Even in the most controlled environment on earth, the human spirit still hungers for respect. In one prison, a former inmate recalls how the entire block stopped eating after discovering maggots in their meals. For 3 days, trays went untouched. Guards tried persuasion, then punishment, but the silence continued. On the 4th day, the kitchen changed hands. The food improved, slightly. It wasn't victory, but it was proof that even hunger can speak louder than words. Behind all this, the deeper truth remains. Prison food is not just about sustenance, it's about control. Every flavorless meal, every missed portion, every delayed serving is a subtle reminder of power and obedience. But to the inmates, it's also a reminder of endurance, of how much a person can survive, and how far they'll go to reclaim a taste of humanity. As night falls, the kitchen hums again. Metal trays washed, pots stacked, steam rising in silence. For a few hours, the air is calm, but everyone knows it's only temporary. Tomorrow, the same cycle begins. The same hunger returns. The same unspoken rules remain. Because in prison, food isn't just food. It's the line between submission and survival, between despair and defiance. So the next time you see an untouched meal or a forgotten tray, remember, behind that plate is a story of power, punishment, and perseverance. And if you've been following this journey, don't forget to subscribe. The deeper we go, the more the truth unfolds. And this story of survival behind bars is only just beginning.